Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. I was recently blessed to travel to Hijaz. The singular purpose of this visit, as I've been asked many times, was to give condolences to the Aimma alayhi salam and the Prophet. The condolences of Imam Hussein alayhi salam and the martyrs of Karbala to the grandfather, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, to his mother, Sayyida Fatma Zahra, to his brother, Imam Hassan alayhi salam, to his son, Imam Zainul Abidin alayhi salam, to his grandsons, Imam Muhammad Baqir and Imam Jafar Sadiq alayhi salam, and to his grandmother, Hazrat Fatma Zahra, Hazrat Fatma bint Asad, and to the noble ashab of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. People normally go to Hijaz to perform Umrah and to visit the Prophet, even though recently, before pandemic, people had stopped already going to Medina to visit the Prophet because they didn't think that was that important. However, for me, the goal for the ziyarah, for this trip, was the ziyarah. And honestly, I wasn't sure if I will be able to perform Umrah because there are so many new regulations that need to be complied with before performing the Umrah, like vaccine registration in the Saudi system, registration with permits, timing, and so on and so forth. That I wasn't sure that it's going to happen. And I will talk about these in the coming discussions. So, why did I choose to go to Medina instead of Karbala? After all, there is a lot of sawab and blessings associated with the ziyarah of Karbala. There were three main reasons which pushed me in that direction. Number one, I had always listened to and read about the narrations that the first time that the Majlis of Imam Hussain alayhi salam was performed, it was in Medina. I wanted to be at the place where Angel Jibreel recited the Majlis and the Prophet cried, where the Prophet recited the Masa'ib of Karbala and the Lady of Heaven, Hazrat Fatma Zahra, Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib, and Imam Hassan alayhi salam shed tears on the day of Ashura. While the second reason was, while it used to be really, really difficult to go to Ziyarah of Karbala in Iraq, today it is relatively easier and open. I wanted to be at a place where it was more difficult to be a Shia in Muharram and perform the Ziyarah of the Masumeen alayhi salam. And I would highly recommend anyone thinking about it that they should do this. And number three, I wanted to experience firsthand the ground reality of restrictions imposed on Shias and Muslims who want to give condolences to the Prophet and Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam in their own home. Because honestly, Medina is the home of the Prophet and the 14 Masumeen alayhi salam. All Masumeens are the signs of Allah. They are the Hujjah of Allah. But by Allah, there is no place on earth where you will get the ziyarah to be in the company of six Masumeen within zero point 0.2 miles. But that utter disregard of this gift and blessing by the administration, by the Salafis, is incomprehensible. They don't know what they're missing. They don't know who's there. They don't know what is the status of these people who rest over there. And that ideology has spread through the Sunnah population. And what I experienced in Medina was heart wrenching. The poverty, the masaib, the lack of appreciation of the Hujjah of Allah was palpable. It has gotten worse by the year. For the last 100 years, it has been happening, but it has come to a point. It has come to a point where Jannatul Baqi is completely closed for Ziyarah now. Not only closed, there are more than 5 layers of barricades that prevent a person from the kubur, the graves of Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam, the shadeless graves of the Imams, in the scorching heat with no Zair, no Shia, no one to recite Al-Noha of Abu Abdullah alayhi salam, no one to cry on the ghurbah of Karbala of Imam Hussain alayhi salam, is an experience that makes me cry even to this day. The ghurbah of Madinah honestly today reminds me of the historical events that we hear about what was happening to the shrine of Abu Abdullah alayhi salam, to the shrines in Iraq, when people were not allowed to visit, when there was no visitation, the graves were leveled. The heat was intense. It was 125 degrees. I was alone and helpless among the Salafis. I could not just imagine that around the world at that time, there were commemorations, there were majalis, there were Naha, Matham gathering, remembrance of the event of Karbala around the world. People were wearing black, people were in sad state of mind. The Shias, but the same Shia in Medina were not even allowed to wear black. This is the sign of the ghurbah in 2021, my dear friends. This is freaking 2021, not prehistoric times. May Allah give us the strength to make a difference and to free Hijaz from oppression so that the blessings of Muhammad and Ali Muhammad can be experienced by the humanity and the illegitimate and incorrect ideology is gotten rid of. Ameen.